Good morning. It's Monday, April 17th, 9:30 in room 225 for the Committees on Public Safety, Intergovernmental and Military Affairs and our good friends from the Committee on Health and Human Services. We have I have to mention that we are streaming this hearing live on YouTube. If we have any kind of technical difficulties, we will post a public notice as to when we will reconvene. We're going to limit our testimony to 1 minute per individual. We have one measure on this agenda, Senate Resolution 30. This is urging the city and county of Honolulu to recognize and address the inequitable location of mental health facilities and clean and sober homes across the island of Oahu. On our testifiers list, we have Kevin McClintock has submitted testimony in support. Gina Salcido has, okay, would you like to come up?
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, and Committee of the Board. I'm in here in concern and I'm for the Bill 30, or Resolution 30. But it seems to be a conflict of interest that's going on because we're only focusing upon the city and county. How can you focus on the safety of public on city and county only when the state is also part of the problem with mental health issues, facilities all over the island? We in Waianae are flooded, overwhelmed with it. And we try to show aloha, but let me inform you folks, I born and raised on that area. Aloha does not mean resilient. Aloha takes two parties. It takes a whole culture to raise a child with aloha. Aloha is not just brought. Aloha is not owned or just said a word aloha. Aloha has many meanings. Aloha comes from within your spirit. And if you ain't got that and you're going to keep pushing towards a community that shows so much aloha, the word aloha do not mean a thing. It does not mean resilient. It takes a lot. It has to take the city and state to work together and play nicely in a sandbox. And you have to hear the community, the constituents. They like to be called constituents. They call us constituents when we are not being heard. Safety is a big issue for my kupunas. I always mention, and Mrs. Shumafuku can inform you, we are not a leader. We're a voice for my kupunas and voice for the safety of our community, including our children.
Ms. Salcido, can you summarize?
Yeah. So what I'm asking, this bill needs to be mandated, including the state, because they have their own branches of mental health facilities. It's not a one-sided door. The door opens many ways. So please, I'm asking with amendment on this bill, include the state too, because you cannot just blame our HPD as safety. You can't. They're overwhelmed.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Austin Salcido.
Thank you for supporting this. Hello, Chair. Senator Wakai, presenting to this. Okay, I support my testimony that provided for this SR 30 with amendments to include in a statement in this written statement as well too. Because whereas the amendments to include all mental health facilities, like my wife had stated, Gina, there's a unequal balance here. We need, because the state as well, the Department of Health has equal involvement here. We need to include also additional language to amend and incorporate additional language as transitional homes, drug rehab, detox, mental health shelters, homeless shelters, projects, etc. Whereas the Hawaii State Health Department is being equally involved in collaborating with the paroling authority and the First Circuit Court Probation Administration, equal involvement. Because to lessen the load of the crowded prisons they're bringing to our area. Now, I'm asking you, it's in my statement that we need to champion a solution here. Because the children's schools is in a vulnerable area. There's no distance measurement. We need laws to be in place to protect the children, to keep a distance from our schools, our recreational areas, especially our aging residential areas. And also, we need to have in place, we need to create some type of review board by the state and city in combination to include compromising law enforcement, HPD, city prosecutors, and city neighborhood boards involvement in this newly created review board. We need the funding for this review board to be put together. That'll be a great solution to champion all these problems that we are current. Everybody knows the problem around the island. And one type of permitting process, a conditional use permit, one process for the state and city because of multiple duplications of this type of transitional programs, sheltering and all that, including our governor's proclamation that's bringing in tiny homes for these people. And we don't know what's coming into the Waianae coast itself. So that itself, because right now
Could you
we
please
are,
summarize?
yes, okay. Basically, whereas our unequal balance of the influx of this type of businesses, all this business I mentioned in the beginning of my statement, because our HPD, it has a short manning, and our inspectors of 12 individuals. So there's a total imbalance of this influx of homelessness, shelters, and of mental health facilities. I'm summarizing, we need to have this, create this new review board in place to control this. We need a law made into this thing. So everybody has a one plate, city and state put together for once, playing good in the sandbox together. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salcido. Melody Rutherford. Might be via Zoom. IT, is anyone named Melody Rutherford?
Sorry, Chair, they're currently not on Zoom.
Okay, thank you. We have Zizing Ziong testifying for CARES. Wait, is that your new name?
No, that's my legal name.
Oh, really?
Angela Melody Young is my American.
Oh,
Yeah, but I haven't registered with the LG, so.
okay. I like
I
Angela.
have to put Shoots and Show on, like, all the legitimate documents.
Well,
Okay, yeah. Hey, Chair, Vice Chairs, Angela Melody Young, on behalf of, actually not CARES, Kapalama NSW, our neighborhood security walk. So, there are a couple of assumptions that I'd like to clear up. Paragraph 2, the large number of facilities along Waianae Coast has caused referrals to be concentrated along the Waianae Coast. And also the assumption that it's a city concern, because if you see, I'm referring to what the previous testifier had also said, this should be a city and state. So if we look at one of the facilities, Kumu Honua, that is located at Kaleloa, Barbers Point. It is it's for single adults and couples who are homeless, and all referrals and applications for Kumu Honua are provided through the state's Hawai'i coordinated entry system. So that's something you can look up on the website. And then also this should be a state and city concern because if you refer to the city council budget meeting from September 2022, when they were deliberating the resolution 22-224 for a nonprofit called Kealaho West, the city has only one lease for Kealoha West, and that is not within the urban core to provide support for the homeless. And the director of DCS talks about the homeless housing and the transitional housing. And
Angela, can you summarize?
okay, I will wrap up. And it says that and the administrator, Daryl Young from DCS, said it's part of their department's intentionality to bring support to the rural communities because too many times it's too concentrated in town. So when they leased Kealoha West per resolution 22-224, it was one of the only leases that they leased in the West Side. So, yeah, so this should be something for the state and the city to work on, and also with the private, profit sectors. Thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Sure. Thank you for your commentary. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on Senate Resolution 30? We'll go here.
Aloha, Peter Mulder from Makaha. And I tried to get on the Zoom, but it wouldn't let me on. So
Thank you for coming.
talked to Austin about it and he said I should just come. So I have a written testimony. I'll give it to you when I'm done. But so I'm Peter Mulder of Makaha, and today is April 17, 2023. And I support the Bill 30, but with amendments. I'm very concerned about it. I don't think that these drug rehab facilities and halfway homes and, you know, the state and the city side, they both have something going on. I don't think that they should be in our community. And I don't think they should be running them either. I think it's a conflict of interest. But with that said, I want to say the bill, it must use crystal clear language so that we know, you know, no vagues and no loophole, no loose ends. And I'm also concerned that our community's message is not connecting. It's not moving forward. It's just kind of mute. Okay. And all this stuff is a huge safety and health concern in our community, in all communities actually, but in our community it's huge. It's real lopsided. How many homeless is in Wai'i? It's crazy that a small community has that many homeless, and it's growing every day. And a lot of the people are not from Wai'i. And Wai'i, we don't mind taking care of our own peoples, but we want to do it. I don't think the government should be involved, you know, taking our tax money and using it for homeless, because, you know, we're the taxpayers. We should be able to use our tax the way we need to use it, and not on people that don't put into society. You know, it's a handout, not a handout. And if people want help, they can get help. There's plenty of help out there. This is a money business, and there's a lot of money, and I'm very concerned.
Could you summarize?
Sorry.
Can you summarize, please?
Okay, so I believe that there should be no representatives, or city and county shouldn't be connected or affiliated to nonprofit organizations. It's a huge conflict of interest. Also, it enriches them at our community's expense, because we pay the price financially and mentally, risk-wise and health-wise. It's terrible. I can take anybody down there and we can walk around and we can see how they feel about it. And also, you know, our hardworking families are at risk because of this. And the city and state seem to be pushing these criminals and, you know, people that have criminal past into our neighborhoods. It doesn't belong in our communities or residential, especially, you know, Wai'i. It's such a, you know, rural community, and it's not fair to have such a lopsided, you know, and I believe it's, you know, bleeding our community.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aloha. So I'll present this with you. I'm sorry it's sloppy. I'm a carpenter.
That's
I don't
good.
write very
Your
well.
handwriting's nicer than
Aloha.
mine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Did you want to testify?
Good morning, Senator Wakai and everyone else. My name is Ellen Kikipi Awai, and I used to be the mental health advocate and for homelessness way back from 2000s. Yeah, I had been on all the different boards and stuff, and even went to Washington, D.C. representing SAMHSA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. But nobody wanted to listen to me because I was labeled for 37 years having bipolar 1. I now find out it's a lie. It's Medicaid, Medicare fraud, right? Chinese therapy was able to tell me, no, you have thyroid issues, which causes chemical imbalance. Okay. This has been a lie by the medical profession for decades. And this is what we got to fight. But with Y and I, I'm sorry, I didn't get to read the thing, but okay, when I first advocated and for homelessness, Y and I was the first one to say, no, we welcome all people to Hawaii. Yeah. The aloha spirit. And for me, that was hard. I was like him, right? But I traveled 4 months on the mainland and saw that it wasn't Hawaii that had the problem. It is United States, the mainland. Yeah, because it's freezing cold. Nobody wants to stay up there in freezing weather. Yeah. And of course, Hawaii, paradise. It is paradise. Yeah. People don't really realize, but it is paradise. Okay. That's why everybody wants to come. That's why everybody wants to come here, take our money, do whatever's, but
Ellen,
we know
can
as
you
locals.
Summarize your commentary.
Okay. But you guys know my reputation already. Okay. A lot of you have known it already. And I don't have to explain how much I know and how much I was treated by the state. I was homeless, acted homeless in Maui. They really need services. They're more powerful than Oahu. You have the population here, but they have 4 islands and their land worth is worth 3 times more. And that's why I testified with the city and county. Yeah. People don't know what I know. And that's the sad part because they don't care. All they want is to make money on their own. So just understand that you ask me anything, I can answer, right? Substance abuse, mental health. We all have mental health issues after COVID. Everybody. I wasn't allowed to bring my service dog in here, okay? Because he's happy. Somebody just hyped him up and he's jumping all over the place. But people don't know he's with me 24/7. He has to be with me because my life has been shambles. And my father and my brother, he was killed because of medications he was given. Okay, so just understand that everybody has mental health issues, and either they choose as teenagers to go to substance abuse, and I cannot train that kind of people. I could only train certified peer specialists with mental health issues,
Thank you.
and you guys know.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on SR 30? If not, if someone asks you a question, we can bring you up. Is there anyone else wishing to testify in this room? Okay. Members, any questions? Nope. Okay, we're going to take a brief recess prior to taking the vote. We're reconvening the Joint Committees on Public Safety and Intergovernmental and Military Affairs and our friends from the Committee on Health and Human Services for decision-making on Senate Resolution 30. And we want to make a number of amendments considering the input from the community. And these are the stated amendments. We're going to add state to the title and the first be it resolved paragraph to make sure that it's not just the city that's driving this, that the state has to be a willing partner in this. We're going to add homeless shelters and other supportive living homes to the list of programs being targeted in the resolution. We're going to add a be it resolved paragraph asking that the Oahu coordinated entry system to consult with stakeholders on issues such as proximity of service living homes to children, elderly, and recreational areas, transparency, liability, insurance, lack of HPD, DPP manpower, oversight, and community engagement, amongst other issues. And then we're going to add to the distribution list on the last paragraph, DHS, Judiciary, PSD, DPP, HPD, Office of the Prosecuting Attorney, Neighborhood Commission Office, and CES. Of course, CES is Oahu Community Entry System. All of these measures or amendments are in an effort to really get the community involved in understanding where and when and how many these mental health facilities and clean and sober homes should be situated in any community across Oahu. So those are the stated amendments. Any discussion?
Did you add Department of Health?
They're already in it.
They're in
DOH
it
is
already?
already in. So, yeah. DOH is already in.
Quick question, do you want to, I know it's last minute, as a communicant, do you want to add the neighborhood board from that area?
Oh, they have it in here.
Oh, they're in there?
Neighborhood-
Okay.
oh,
It's in the
wait,
neighborhood commission office.
Neighborhood commission office?
Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we have a neighborhood commission office. so
The specific
includes
board
all.
itself, that's fine.
You want to state Waianae Neighborhood Board?
But yeah, we could put there's neighborhood board 36 and 24 that cover.
Yeah, that way they get it directly and they're not. relying on
Because
it.
you're
Sure,
talking about light
yeah.
and
Yeah, we could add them on to the.
That'd be good,
resolution
and they get notice.
Okay.
Wait, are you saying just Waianae or Oahu? Because if the title is Oahu, then it's all neighborhood boards.
Yeah, I mean, we have the neighborhood commission office as one of the distributors, so that's gonna go all the, but if we want to also, make sure it goes to neighborhood board 24 and 36,
Yeah.
then
Because I mean, the community clearly.
Yeah,
wants
That's
that,
the Waianae
so-
community.
to add them on, but it's statewide.
Exactly, and then one other final ask here, if I may, is that maybe just in the committee report, just note the need to engage the community actively.
Affected communities.
Thank you.
Okay. So in the committee report, we'll request that the community actively get engaged, and we're gonna convey that through also adding that neighborhood board 24 and 36, the participants in this working group. So thank you for your input. Any other discussion points, suggestions? If not, Senator Elefante, I vote yes.
Okay, Chair's recommendations to pass SCR 30 with amendments. Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Fukunaga is excused. Senator McKelvey,
Yes.
Senator Awa.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, recommendations adopted.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Committee on Health and Human Services, same recommendations. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, Chair.
Okay, chair votes. So SR 30 to pass with amendments, chair votes aye, vice chair.
Aye.
Senator Moriwaki,
Aye.
Senator Shimabukuro,
Aye.
Senator Awa.
Aye.
Chair, recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
Okay, thank you very much again. It is Monday, April 17th, 9:30 agenda just for the Health and Human Services Committee. Just two resolutions. Up first, we have HR 34, HD1. Okay, up first, we have Department of Health, Executive Office on Aging. Okay. Members, please note the testimony opposition. Okay, up next, we have Daintree Bartolis.
Thank you, Chair. Senator Daintree Bartolis, Executive Administrator for the Hawai'i State Council on Developmental Disabilities. We appreciate the intent, and I apologize, it says it's a late testimony, but I did submit it Saturday night after the UH game. Anyways, we do appreciate this, but we just have a concern about the funding needed. It's a very important study. We support the study, but the funding, there's no funding for it, so we feel it's impossible to do the study without funding.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Up next, we have Angela from CARES.
Aloha, Angela Melody Young testifying on behalf of CARES. So the Executive Office of Aging is requested to investigate on how quickly to provide and finance the long-term care services and support in skilled nursing facilities for the elders in Molokai, Lanai, and East Maui. So I just want to provide comments in support and specifically for the long-term support and services. So this terminology is something recognized like in the Social Security Act and in health insurance language. And long-term support and services are medically necessary health interventions. Skilled nursing facilities include community care foster family homes, expanded
Angela,
adult
could you please summarize?
residential care homes. And as per the HRS Chapter 346, 321, 346 and 321, DHS and DOH are
Angela, can you please
authorized
summarize?
to regulate those sorts of skilled nursing facilities.
Thank you very much. We do
So,
have your written testimony.
It
Thank
should
you.
be DOH and DHS collaborating.
Okay, thank you very much. Any others wishing to testify? Yes. Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ellen Hawai'i, mental health advocate for decades. Anyway, yes, now that I am a senior, I live in a senior facility, and yes, you do need a study because management of where even I live, there was issues that they come from other places and telling us what to do, but they don't know what the law is in Hawaii or nationwide. They don't follow federal law, they don't follow state law, and they treat us differently. If you know that, locals don't like to take higher positions because they have to take care of their families, their ohana. And all these other people come in taking these positions and they don't have the qualifications. I know this because now I'm trying to look for a job and I'm overqualified. Nobody wants to hire me. I have my master's in criminal justice and nobody wanted to hire me in 2011 because I was coming out of the Department of Health and I was labeled. And it was where only one island ran everything. And it was the smallest island. It wasn't even part of what Kamehameha took.
Could you please summarize?
It's just that our cultures are so important to understand. You have to do a study. I brought in an $11.2 million contract from Washington, D.C., but it was given to people that wasn't even a part of it. They didn't even understand what mental health was. It was given to, people of the politicians' friends. It wasn't given to certified peer specialists who are mentors. We were role models. I trained them. I trained 150 plus,
Okay.
but
Could you please
they're
summarize?
only now a part of what the insurances now require. But they're not certified in Hawaii anymore because it was given to a program. My program, which was one of 5 in the nation, but
you
it
please
had the
wrap it up?
cultural piece.
Could you please wrap it up?
Yeah.
Please? Thank you.
It was given to people who just didn't care. So just letting you know, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, any others wishing to testify? Okay, HR 34. Okay, seeing none, members' questions. Okay, let's move on to HR 207. Okay, up first, we have Aloha Care. Okay, support, Department of Health. Okay, also in support, Queens Health System. Okay, also in support. Any others wishing to testify? HR 207. Seeing none, members, questions? Okay, we're gonna take a quick recess for decision making. Okay, thank you very much. We're reconvening our 9:30 a.m. agenda. Up first, we have HR 34, HD1. This would request Executive Office of Aging to conduct a certain study in Maui County. Due to the testimony that we received, we're going to be deferring due to the lack of resources. Okay. Up next and last, HCR 207. This would request Department of Health to convene an early lung cancer screening working group to continue based on session laws that were passed last year. Members would like to recommend that we pass this unamended. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Chair.
Okay, for HCR 207, Vice Chair's recommendation is to pass as is with all members being present. Are there any no's? Are there any reservations? Seeing none, Vice Chair, recommendation has been adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. We're adjourned.